Robert Browning was born in 1812 and died at 77 in 1889. Browning was a poet of the Victorian era and a critic of the patriarchy, which was a much more powerful system of government or society than it is now. Patriarchy was the way in which power was distributed amongst men. Fathers were heads of their families, and when they died, this power and wealth was passed to the eldest son. Daughters remained under the protection of their fathers and male siblings until they were married, when their husbands took over this role. In politics, wherever possible, power would be passed from kings to their male sons in monarchies, and in democracies, women were not even allowed to vote, let alone be elected, until the early 20th century. People often think that in the UK, women were given the right to vote in 1918. However, this is only partially true. Only married women or female heads of household were given these rights then, and it wasn't until 1928, with the passing of the Equal Franchise Act, that all women, no matter their status, could vote. It is against this backdrop that Robert Browning grew up in London, the child of a wealthy bank clerk. In 1845, he and Elizabeth Barrett, another poet, met after exchanging some letters. They began a secret relationship before they were married, equally secretly, in September 1846. The reason for all this secrecy? Elizabeth's father was a strong and overbearing man who both refused to allow his daughter to travel to Italy. The warm climate would have improved her frail health, or to consider any kind of relationship with a man that he didn't approve. Indeed, it was soon after her father's refusal to allow Elizabeth to travel that she and Robert were married, and they ran away to Italy, never to speak to her father again. Whilst Robert and Elizabeth may have escaped experiencing the negatives of patriarchy firsthand, in Italy they witnessed its far more blatant impact on politics and society. Therefore, drawing upon all of his experience of patriarchy to this point, Browning wrote My Last Duchess, a semi-biographical, semi-fictional dramatic monologue told from the perspective of the 16th century Duke of Ferrara, who it is rumoured killed his first wife Lucrezia Medici for disobeying his instructions and arguably being flirtatious with various other men that the couple came into contact with. Whilst it is now thought that Lucrezia was not murdered and instead died of tuberculosis, it is known that soon after her death, the Duke of Ferrara tried to secure a marriage to the daughter of Ferdinand I, Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. It is therefore within the lines of this poem that Browning exposes the real negatives of the patriarchal system. People using marriage to secure the wealth and status of their families or themselves, indifferent to the needs or desires of the women involved. This situation is explored in literature again and again, and you are likely to have come across it in Romeo and Juliet, with Capulet violently forcing Juliet to marry Paris, and in An Inspector Calls, where Berlin can think of nothing better than Gerald Croft marrying his daughter so that a profitable business arrangement can be forged between the two families, not caring that he has been caught being unfaithful to his daughter.